Hello, you're watching Bearwood West Yard. In this video I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to lay third rail. To be able to lay your third rail you're going to need some tools, so starting off with a craft knife and some super glue, and then also a drill and a 1mm drill bit, and also anything that can be used as a centre punch or drill guider, so to make sure that you get your hole right in the centre of the sleeper. For this I'm going to use a dibber. Now for the components that make up the third rail, you're going to require some Peco IL120 conductor rail chairs. These are approximately £5 off of Hatton's at the time of filming, and you get approximately 100 in each pack. You'll also need some Peco IL1 code 60 rail, of which each are approximately 2 foot in length, and you get 6 with every pack. These are around £7 for the pack of 6. On the reverse side of the conductor rail chairs packaging, you'll find that there is a guide on how to install it. Now, I have a couple of problems with this. First of all, the saying about every fourth sleeper, the spacing of the chairs, that is not fully correct. They're actually placed between every fourth and every sixth sleeper, so you'll have between 3 and 5 sleepers between each chair. Also, where it states about that the hole that should be drilled is 0.8mm, I would completely ignore that and go for a 1mm drill bit. This is because when I tried using a 0.8mm drill bit, I found that I was wasting quite a lot of chairs because it was an interference fit and you had a job to actually push it in. So with a 1mm drill bit you've got a nice clearance fit, and with a bit of super glue you're wasting hardly any chairs. Also, where it states about at the bottom of it, where around points and crossings, that I've never seen any third rail around points that are like that. Usually there's an independent bit of rail for the bit of crossing over, where the middle bit will stop, and then it will continue on here, and then rightly it will start again up here. So if you haven't done your own research, which I would highly advise that you do before even starting doing this, whether it's a real location or not, I'd recommend doing your own research, possibly going down to your local station if you're on the southern network, or if you're not from the southern region but model the southern region, then I'd highly recommend looking at any photos that you can. So to achieve the desired sleeper spacing, what I would do is I would bring out a pen. I use a orange Sharpie and just mark out the ends of each sleepers with the correct sleeper spacing. Now, if you don't do this, what you can end up happening, and it is quite common to happen, is that say you want 5 sleepers between each chair, you can actually end up with 4 by not marking it. So I'd highly recommend that you do that. Any colour pen will do, but I use orange, literally just because it's a rather vibrant colour and you just can't miss it really. Then once you've marked that out, what I could do is I go over it with a little dibber just to stab into the centre, so that when you drill into it you'll end up having some kind of centre mark, so that the drill doesn't waver and go to the side of the sleeper when you want it in the centre. So bringing the drill over, now I use a little hand drill because it's what I have to hand. It is quite fiddly to do, and I drill between 5 and 10mm down. A regular electric drill will do this, however, due to the limitations of my drill's chuck, I'm having to use a hand drill because it's the only thing that will take a 1mm drill bit. Right, so now that those are drilled, let's fit the chairs. Right, so here's some that I stuck in earlier. And here's the area which we're going to be working on. So first of all, what I do is I just apply a generous amount of Superglue. And then literally just push it into the hole and hold it for a couple of seconds to allow the Superglue to set. It's rather fiddly work. Also trying to make sure that you get it around the right way. Sometimes I have found that it doesn't always want to go in, so just put a little bit more super glue down and pick another one out. This can be because of anything to do if there's any flashing on the bottom of it from where it was cut off the sprue. That one's gone in there nicely now. Then threading the rail through is quite easy. On the last chair you'll see here, I installed that with the rail already in, and that just to make it easier for the thread through operations. Now, what I end up do sometimes is I just get some pliers just to reinforce the chair, and then it just goes through. So the little technique of threading the rail through the chairs before you actually put them onto the layout, that pays off when you're doing your final assembly. And that is pretty much it on how to install third rail. However, at the end of the rail, as you can see where it slopes off, I'll make sure that the top side of the railhead that is sloped is 7mm in length. So that's 7mm from the end right to the angled top. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, then feel free to give it a like. If you've got anything to say or you'd like to add anything, then the comment box is just down below. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.